Hey guys, this is Wesley, and today I just wanted to talk to you guys about life and not only life, like how life goes, but my life, like my own personal life as well. And so, yeah. First off, I have been struggling with a lot of employment, and like a lot of people are off to other parties and such. Meanwhile, I'm not really attending any events, or I have church that I basically attend every Sunday. Actually, no, I don't attend church every Sunday. I used to attend it like probably every Sunday when I was a kid. But anyway, I don't really go to school. I had a lot of anxiety at school, and yeah, I also suffer with like a little. Sorry, I stuttered there a little bit. I suffer with some mental health issues like anxiety. You got anxiety. You've got depression. You've got bullying. I mean, I don't know if this counts as bullying, but I've heard that nowadays there's more and more people that they give you smirk faces and crusty looks. And seriously, if you're one of those teenagers, you've got to stop. I'm talking to you, and that's not a cool thing to do. If you think that's cool, well, you're going to look back at that later and regret it. And you should know better than that. And a lot of people who think that they know better, they don't actually know the way, but they basically like say they don't know the way, but sometimes they know more than they think they do. And with me, it's just like I'm so used to training myself into like knowing what I should know better. Like for me, it's like almost impossible for me to be rude to someone, and because I'm such a nice person, and obviously I understand that it's good to have boundaries from people and such, but sometimes like there's really rude people, and man, the world is such a scary place, but it can also be a positive place. And so I just want to kind of spread an influence to the world. When I grow up, I want to be a musician, and I've really been working very hard at that. And man, like music is just, it's not only cleansing to my ears, but it's cleansing to my soul, you know. Those of you that are fans of music or singers can relate to me as well. But yeah, I also have my own website. You can check it out over here. But yeah. Anyway, I just really hope that you can learn something from this video. But anyways, enough about my life. I want to hear about your guys' life. So don't be afraid to share your thoughts with me down in the comment section below, either any one of your stories or anything like that. And just know that like no one's gonna judge you for sharing your thoughts on the comment section down below. Maybe the world will, but for my channel, I ain't gonna let that happen. Nope, not today. So to all you haters out there on YouTube, I'm not gonna let that happen. Except it's good to know that YouTube is such a free space where you can share your thoughts. And yeah, I'm just really glad to be able to make this content for you guys. But like lately I've been thinking maybe I should upload every 5 days, but instead of uploading every 5 days or whatever arbitrary timeline that I say. I'm just gonna stick to my own schedule, you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna like upload every few days. Maybe if I feel like taking a break, I'll take a break for a few weeks. Maybe at the most I'll take a break for like a few months, but I just like really care about you guys, and like for example, let's just say other social media platforms grow, and like there's negativity and then there's positivity on the other side, right? But you gotta realize that the distinction between other social media platforms, like for example Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, etc. They basically like want you to be more addicted. They like want you to be in this state of mind that you can just like have this constant dopamine rush fed to you, and it's like it's not helping you like gain any skills or anything, but it's making you feel rewarded, like you actually got that hit, and like you're just like, oh, that feels so good, except you actually don't. But anyways, with YouTube, it's like on YouTube, like you would actually feel accomplished on what you've achieved more so, and like there's a list of tons of different other creators that you can learn from and you can study from, and like for example, if you like had this one video that maybe you didn't feel like sharing, it might actually benefit you a lot more than you think, and that's kind of what I'm doing, something new for this video. So I'm just like, I figured out why not. Like I was saying before, YouTube is such a free space for anyone to share their thoughts, but I really do wish every single one of you guys a safe journey. And man, not only has my road been hard, but I could name millions of others who possibly like have experienced pain in the world, and not only millions, but maybe even billions around the world. Like there's 8 billion people in planet Earth, and to think that no one suffered is such a substantial thing to think to yourself, and to think like no one suffers out of those 8 billion people. That's just basically refusing growth. And like I think that's important for more important than a lot of people think it is. But anyway, like I was saying before in the video I was talking to you about, I've just been struggling to find a job. I do have this new job though, and it's paying decently well, and I really wanted to purchase something off of my website. Like there's a theme on Shopify you can go to, and so if you guys would like to make your own website, or if you just like feel stressed out or anything, then just know that you don't have to be trapped in this rat race or hamster wheel, one size fits all place for you to like feel like you dwell in your mind. But except that's the thing, is that with you being in the rat race or matrix, whatever you want to call it, like you think you're like actually winning, but I have another channel and it talks about kind of this, but it says even if you're a rat, you basically like, even if you've won the race and you're a rat, you're still in the race. So I know I've repeated a few of the things in there, but yeah, anyway, I just really want to say to you that if you feel like you want to start a business or take the risk, then go for it. Who cares if everyone else judges you? You could have the whole world judging you. You could have your friends. You could have people who've changed in your life. You could have people who seek validation versus people who make content from the heart because they actually want others to grow, not just make them jealous. And that's something that like is really meaningful to do, and that's something that I have and am always willing to do and to be. But yeah, I really hope that you guys can sort of relate to my story. But yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone does, because if you ever heard this meme, then I'm sure that you obviously relate to this one. But anyway, also this one. No, I bet that's not even close. But anyway, yeah, I just really hope that you guys will be able to find my content useful or inspiring, or whatever you'd like to call it. But you know, there's this one song that I was listening to, and one of the lyrics in there, I'm not going to say who it was, but he's my favorite artist by far. But anyway, one of his lines is, "Call it what you want." And I just love that so much, because people dictate and they label everything about you. And it's just so healthy to think to yourself that, like, you don't need to seek their approval for anything. And maybe that can feel selfish to others, but what feels like selfish to others or not as beneficial to others might not be for you. Or, like, for example, it's different for everyone else. But yeah, the main thing I'm just hoping for in life is just to find, I don't only want to find employment, I want to have a purpose. Because, like, I'm like that type of person that doesn't just want to find employment or just like any regular job. I just want to actually have a purpose. And I figured, like, I'm not trying to offend anyone in this video, but I figured that if you want to live a life, or just if you do live life, then why would you live it having a normal job? I'm not trying to offend you, but, or anyone in this video, but I'm really depressed, or I guess you could say I just feel really different when, and like not different in a good way, when I have like a normal job. But the job that I'm having, like, it's hard work, and like, because my job requires hard work, I just feel like I have to keep on working more, harder and harder. And that's exactly how life should be, is you just, like, you have to work hard for things in life. And that's something my dad constantly always tells me. And I'm not trying to talk bad about him or anything, but my dad constantly tells me to, like, work hard for things in life. And no matter how many times I tell him that I do, he always likes to, I don't know, he likes to never take problems for himself, or just, like, he basically says words differently to sort of make you question your own reality. And I'm not wrong when that comes to the term that it refers to is called gaslighting or manipulating. But honestly, I shaved my head because I figured, like, I shouldn't care about looks too much, and I really wanted to try my best not to care too much about looks. And I feel like that's something everyone does, but because, like, if you think about it, everyone in today's world, like, they basically care about how you look. For example, if you're going to this, like, job interview place, it's kind of like a traditional thing to say, but they're like, are you dressed up in a coat, or like, obviously, maybe it might not be a coat. I don't understand why it would be coat, but if you're dressed up in a suit and tie, they might want you to look nice. But I know I've said this a million times before, but I'm not trying to offend anyone in this video. But I just want people, or I think many adults will be offended by this, but people to realize that, like, most jobs, they don't want like some traditional interview where you have this suit and tie. And I think a lot more like people think that, or adults, I'm not trying to like shame adults or people or anything, but I just think that's the reality of how things are and how people think. And a lot of times I get like these responses from my family where they say that, oh, you think you know everything, you think you understand more than we do. And basically their mindset is, if you've been around the world longer, then that means more wisdom. And but here's the thing about that, is that even if you were around longer, that doesn't mean more wisdom. And the reason why is because, listen to this, is because maybe you just haven't been around not only long enough, but you haven't been around our time. You're not a teenager in today's world. And I think the more important thing to realize is, maybe you would realize if you actually put yourself in our shoes more. And just in saying things like that to us, it, like I was saying before, it makes us want to question our own reality. Like what I was saying about not only what my dad does, but what other people do and what I've been through. And, you know, like, I just use music so much. I can't. There's no way. Honestly, I think, like, from my perspective, I'm not trying to, like, throw assumptions on anyone, but I think that there's no way that not only myself could live without music, but there's no way that anyone on planet Earth could live without music. Because even if people don't think they need music, I think they need it a lot more than they intended on. But yeah, lately I've just been trying to build a really meaningful life, and this is a little bit like scary to share, but when I was like 16, I went to this hospital. I think it was UVU, but anyways, they said I got diagnosed with autism, and like, I didn't really want to believe it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't really have it, so I'm like in this in-between phase where I feel like I don't have it, but I also, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain because I feel like I don't have it, but I also agree, but like, I also more so don't agree. And let me share with you my thoughts on my diagnosis. Not only my diagnosis, but like, I guess my story about that. And so my thought on that is that if you work on your purpose or your things in life, you don't even feel like you have it. And people might not even think that you have it, or if you go around telling family members that, and I think a few times my dad, he likes to talk lowly, I guess you could say. Sometimes it's not lowly, but he likes to talk a lot about other people, and sometimes he talks a little bit too much about other people, and that's what he said about me to my family members, and that it's really frustrating for me because like I feel like anyone would be frustrated if your dad, like, you heard your dad talk badly about you to someone else, whether that was a family member or one of his friends or anything like that. But okay, so to end this video off, I'm gonna share with you who I want to be when I grow up. Obviously, like, I want to be a better change for the world, and that's not a bad thing to be when you grow up, but what I want to be is a singer, content creator, basically, in other words, a YouTuber, and then kind of an entrepreneur, I guess, and so yeah, that's pretty much it. A singer, YouTuber, and then basically an entrepreneur that has my own website. So yeah, I think if you want to check out my website, it's going to be down, link in bio, but I'll see you guys, and I wish you luck on your journey. Peace.